I wasn't sure what I was hoping for when I shaved my head. I always used to joke about it with my friends, but I never actually considered I'd do it. Look what I did.
So, Katie, what made you decide to change your hair?
I think part of what made me change it was that I had kind of grown really sick of having the amount of hair I did. I think it was actually quite physically a bother anyway, and then also I felt like it didn't quite align with my sense of identity or gender. I think I was beginning to make a realization that for me hair is actually much more than just a part of my body. It's much more of an actual symbol of how I represent my gender. And I think of gender not only as male, female, other. I think of it as a whole set of things. So a personality and an identity, a complete part of you. Everyone has different genders in a way. Because I think I had this kind of philosophy, I felt like I had to change to fit that.
So when I started here, a year and a half ago, I had extensions that were down to here. Yeah, and then I rolled with that until November, and then I was okay, well, I came into work and I was somebody, can you buzz all this off, please? So I got my head shaved from extensions, which was kind of bold of me to assume that was a good idea, but it turns out it was great. And then I kind of went with that and got it shaved over and over again for a couple months, and then went for the kind of mini mullet and just got the side shaved. And then this is kind of the outgrown version of that. My hair and my outfits are two of the major things that I like to kind of identify myself with. I take a lot of pride in how my hair looks and how the outfits are put together and stuff. I'd wanted to have shorter hair for a wee while because obviously I see it day in, day out in here. So the kind of gender euphoria came afterwards, and so when I got it shaved I didn't realise that it was a whole thing that I was about to start to deal with, kind of thing. I was just kind of oh well, no hair. Personally, I will be non-binary until there's another word that feels more like me, kind of thing. I don't feel like I'm in the middle or neither or both. I don't know, it's kind of, I'm just me. I don't know. Does that make sense? Yeah, I mean, sometimes I'll I'll wake up and I'll be like, oh, I'm going to be so femme today. It's going to be so fun. Like, so many people are going to think that I'm a girl kind of thing. But at the same time, I can go both ways, or a lot of the time, like one of my favourite compliments is when people are, oh, you're so androgynous. I'm like, oh, thank you. You know, it's like it fluctuates between all of them. I feel like there's a severe lack of genuine inclusive spaces in everywhere, but especially in the hairdressing industry, because it's very much like, if you go to an award show, it'll be like best girl hairdresser of the year, best boy hairdresser of the year kind of thing. We went to an award show last year. We were all literally sitting there. We were like, what is going on? Because it was like male category, female category, like young male, like young female, all this kind of stuff. And we were all sitting there. Half of us were non-binary. We were sitting here. We were like, what? Like, I want to enter, but how do I enter kind of thing. There's so much work to be done, especially in the hairdressing industry. Like, yeah, there needs to be more places like this, basically.
Obviously, hair or no hair doesn't equal gender. Yeah, so maybe I wanted to be seen as an other or something in between. This feeling of dysphoria is like definitely the worst when I'm dressed masculinely and then suddenly I feel feminine. And I think that's probably because I was raised as a woman. To be honest, it feels really embarrassing and jealousy inducing that some people don't, like most people don't feel this way, because I think about it all the time.
So my hair was massive in my appearance, especially the length of my hair was really huge in the way that I felt about myself. I think maybe it was kind of like a femininity, beauty thing, but I felt like I was inadequate and I felt like I was really horrifically ugly and abhorrent and disgusting to look at. I always did feel like I wasn't quite feminine enough, like I wasn't quite worthy enough to take on the things that women do. You know, things like taking care of your appearance and aesthetics and things like that. I always felt scared to. I don't know, I did just have this weird thing about femininity. But with the appearance thing, it is interesting. I felt like I could make up for something that I was lacking in femininity and beauty and sex appeal with having very long hair. Because I knew that men liked very long hair, that was a huge part of it, and it felt like a feminine thing, you know what I mean? It just felt like a, yeah, like it was filling a gap that I couldn't fill with anything else of myself, so I kept it long for a while, and then I remember I was working for a month with no days off when I was a waitress, and I couldn't look after my hair. I didn't have the time to take care of it like that, and it was in the way, and so I chopped it all off, I remember. And I also did that it was also after like a mini breakup as well. So it made me feel better. Yeah, I was like, do you know what, no, I don't want to be attracted to men anymore, I actually don't care. It was almost like a fuck you to the male gaze. It was like, no, I don't care, I just need to get up in the morning and get to work quickly, I'm chopping this off. I don't know, it just feels like a fuck you to what I was told about beauty standards when I was a child, about how everything needs to be sleek, and I don't know, that your hair needs to be, I guess the beauty standards were that you need to have straight hair, straight, smooth, silky hair, and so me doing this every day feels like a fuck you to that. It's very therapeutic. It's good for my inner child, you know, because I know that little Caris would be so happy if she could see that I was doing this. Curly hair, it's just a thing, it feels like a part of me. It's a part of my identity, it's part of my ancestry, it's passed through. I like knowing that I look a little bit like my great-grandmother, or that I look a little bit like my grandma, you know?
Because like shaving your head is like seen as like quite a big thing, because I guess we prize hair quite a lot. it definitely like felt like I'd removed something from myself, but it wasn't like the removal of something terrible. Like it wasn't like I was missing something. I did at the time maybe feel a bit like I stuck out a lot, because everyone or most people have hair. Presenting as a woman, it feels like that's definitely what you should have. Like you should have hair, you should have long hair, you should have it a very specific way, and so going against that is really hard actually in a way. It feels like you've done something a little bit wrong, and no one was like mean about it or anything, to me in public at least, but I did feel a bit like at first like I had sort of lost something, though in the time since I realised I actually gained a lot more from doing it than I ever lost, so yeah. And I feel almost betrayed by the years that I spent, like, doing so much to my hair. Like, I don't know, like, I would, like, curl it and straighten it and do all this kind of crazy shit to it. And I feel like being free of that, like, I wake up in the morning and I comb it. Occasionally, I will say cowlicks are very annoying. But, like, it's so easy to deal with. And, like, I think part of me feels like, why didn't I do this earlier? As a, like, practicality thing, it's, like, utterly worth it. And I think, like, yeah, I just wish I'd done it earlier because it would have saved me so much time. Yeah. I mean, part of me wants to go back to having it completely shaved because that was even less. Like, it felt so weird because you're used to doing so much to your hair, and then when it's taken away, it's like freedom, but freedom like with a weird feeling. But yeah, it's much better this way. I enjoy it a lot more.
Okay, I'm gonna cut there. How's your hair?
Annoying.
Why is your hair annoying?
I just don't like long hair, but hey, I hate getting haircuts as well, so I'm stuck with this.
What? Why don't you shave it?
I shaved my head ages ago.
We're gonna get footage of that.
I genuinely don't think I have any.
Mary, if you could have any colour eyes, what colour eyes would you have?
Your mum's.
That's gorgeous. Thanks
Love
so
it.
much. Oh, that is
Is it cute?
Oh my god.
Do you want to cut there?
Yeah, I'm gonna cut.
Okay.
Love that. Wait, also, have you dyed your hair any other colours except for pink?
I've had like purplish hair and blonde.
That's
Like,
so cool.
it's kind of boring.
How long have you been growing your hair for?
So, since my last haircut, 4 months, not long. 4 months, 5 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
What? Take a deep breath and get ready to jump.